I am going to remind you in advance that I am very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving a fuck what you think. Now get the fuck out of here.
Alright, so Sir Lewis Hamilton, he rocked up to the presser, blinged out. Blinged to the nines, okay? I should say the eights, actually. We'll get to that. But he was blinged out, okay? He's blinged out like he's about to shoot the hottest rap video of the 2000s. He arrived like he's about to shoot a milli. You know, Sir Lewis Hamilton version. Yeah, I've been trying to record this video so much. I just keep breaking out in laughing fits because it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But okay, we're gonna persevere. We're gonna persevere through this one. So Sir Lewis, he rocked up in obvious defiance to the now mandated jewelry ban from the FIA. From who's this guy? Wittich? I think his name is Wittich. You know, these new these Massey replacements. All these Massey replacements. It's probably accurate to call them Massey replacements. Right? Is it Niels Wittich? I believe. Anyway, Wittich, or whoever the fuck is in charge for officiating this this Miami Grand Prix, he's decided he's gonna take a stance on this jewelry ban and the underwear and the underwear situation. We'll get to that. But Sir Lewis, he rocked up to the presser in obvious defiance. He come in with all the bling, 8 rings. It's very cryptic. Yeah, I see what you're doing, Sir Lewis. I see. Very cryptic. Okay, you're on your Bill Russell swag. I quite appreciate that. You know, it's my personal go, but anyway, you're on the Bill Russell swag. And quite frankly, there should be 10 rings, but you know, I understand why you won't go to full 10, right? But the 8 is very cryptic. That's very cryptic, my man. The 3 watches is just maximum swag. So this is Sir Lewis Hamilton's response to the swag ban, right? And that's a big old FU to the swag ban. Now, of course, you got Mercedes, who aren't here to step on anyone's toes. And they've told them to play nice with the FIA. And this leads me to question, in the off season when this Abu Dhabi situation was being investigated, was it Sir Lewis who told Mercedes to, you know, just play nice, just put away all the lawyers and all of that? Or was it Mercedes who asked Sir Lewis Hamilton, hey, look, man, just, you know, we haven't been doing this motorsports thing, you know, as long as some of these old heads in here, you know, so just, can we play nice on this? You know, can we just make this go away? You know, the fans, they've all documented what happened. It's not like anyone's gonna forget, but can we just make this go away? And you know, there's a lot of people who are trying to control Sir Lewis Hamilton like this. This swag ban, I'm actually quite certain, is a response by the FIA to Sir Lewis talking loose on the politics. He's talking about politics too much. And of course, to the FIA, that's problematic because you're going to end up politicizing the space, and then we miss out on ticket sales and all of that. And I mean, really, if they're worried about that, then the product was never convincing. You know, because there were a whole lot of people who said, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch the sport anymore if they drop the V8 engines, the naturally aspirated engines." You're still watching. No, everyone's still watching. So yeah, so much for that. The Abu Dhabi situation that got a lot more people to opt out of this whole thing. But then, of course, they were most likely replaced by Verstappen fans who don't quite know what exactly happened, and and how serious a matter it is. But anyway, so Lewis, he dropped the 8 rings on the presser. I see what you're doing. Yes, you do have 8 championships. Whether the record's counted or not, yes, we can see you got 8 championships. Now, something worth noting is that we're all going to evaluate Sir Lewis Hamilton's performances like there isn't any of this FIA mandated malarkey going on around him, right? That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do that. The whole F1 webosphere is gonna do that. You know, we're just gonna evaluate him like, okay, yeah, the FIA is targeting you. They're trying to get into your head. They're trying to live in your head rent free. And of course, the opposite is happening. So Lewis is living rent free in their head. But anyway, they're trying to get to Sir Lewis with all these side attacks, and we're gonna evaluate his performances against George Russell, who has none of this baggage, as though Sir Lewis has no baggage when the baggage is on full display. And it's unreasonable baggage, quite frankly. Why is this jewelry ban happening now when the man has already won, I want to say 6 championships, but it might be all of them. I would have to go and relook at how blinged out he was at McLaren, because Ron Dennis, he had rules about this stuff. I'd have to go have a look at that. But we can say comfortably he's won, well, should be, he's won 7 championships all blinged out, but we know what happened in Abu Dhabi. But he's won all these championships, majority of them, by a long way, comfortably, blinged out. Now, if they were serious about this jewelry ban, if it was actually a thing that mattered for safety, they would have headed this off at the pass. I mean, there was the whole safety drive after the whole Jules Bianchi situation. There was that whole safety drive after that. And they, quite frankly, could have gotten onto the jewelry ban with some real intent back then. You see? But they didn't opt to do that. They opted to do it now. Why are they doing it now? Well, because they need to distract from the main storyline bubbling away in the background as it relates to Sir Lewis Hamilton. They have to distract from that. Right? So it's comfortable for the FIA that we're talking about jewelry right now. It's comfortable for them. It's comfortable that we're talking about the underwear ban and all of that. That's comfortable for them. It's much better that than we mention Abu Dhabi and why Sir Lewis is wearing 8 rings at the press or something. It's much more comfortable. Right? It's much more comfortable for them that we talk about that, even more so with Verstappen coming up the crupper with reliability. We could throw all the metaphysics at that. All of it. Say, oh look, all those principled hands over there at the factory, oh they're not working. They're not working at that same efficiency they were working last year. I mean, what they did in Hungary, repair the car after Verstappen binned it, driving to the grid, not even like on a formation up or anything, just driving to the grid. I mean, I can't see Red Bull being able to do something similar to that this season, just because of the way things have shaped up. But anyway, at face value, it is a huge problem for the FIA that you've got Sir Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. That's 11 recognized championships between them, just by the way. And they've got the 2 most winningest drivers on the grid right now, kicking up a whole fuss over their rulings. Right? That's a problem for the FIA. At the end of the day, it is a problem. It's not as big a problem as anyone mentioning Abu Dhabi would be as big a problem, but it is a problem for them. It is a problem at the end of the day. So the FIA are gonna have problems to deal with here, and they might renege on the underwear ban, and that would be really telling, I suppose, if they renege on the underwear ban and they don't renege on the jewelry ban, on the swag ban. Okay, and so Lewis, he's been given 2 races. So what does that mean? After Monaco, he gets to be blinged out for Monaco, but after Monaco, he's got to have the whole apparatus removed. You can't have the nose ring, even though it's like it's the most unoffensive nose ring I've ever seen. Like, it's tiny, it's just a little ting there. Anyway, anyway, you can't have the piercings in the ears. That's got to be removed. I wonder if they would get on a Prince Albert ting. Anyway, anyway, let's not go there. Oh my gosh, let's not go. But that would be a real mark of their petty. See, this is just petty versus petty right now. And the drivers, they've got petty to go on for the whole season. For the whole season. You know, I'll be very interested to see if Sir Lewis actually removes the jewelry. I'll be very interested to see that. I'm sure Mercedes are pleading with them, please, just play nice with the FIA. Where Mercedes, we don't have, 50 years of clout like the boys in red over there. We don't have 50 years of clout to just slap at the FIA and say, well, we kind of are Formula One, so you're gonna let our driver wear his jewelry. They don't have that. And Seb on the underwear thing, I mean, he's walking around the paddock like he's Superman, man. Walking around the paddock, it's like he's doing a Superman cosplay. He got his underwear on outside. And mind you, the way Vettel has gone and worn the underwear on the outside, that is actually a safety hazard. If there were to be a fire, a la Grosjean or something, right? Yo, Grosjean is still mocking up the championship even now. Even now, they've only done this jewelry ban because, if Grosjean was wearing jewelry, or Noel would have gotten superheated in the fire and he would have burn marks, more burn marks on his body and all that. I mean, that's what they might think about the situation. There's an interesting note to make about this jewelry ban, made by Peter Winsor. I give him direct credit. Made by Peter Winsor. He said sometime in the 70s, maybe the 60s, when Sir Jackie Stewart was racing, the drivers had bracelets, blood type bracelets, so that if they were in an accident, the EMTs over there could just look at his wrist. Oh, he's blood type B minus. Well, get the B minus blood. Get the O negative. As always, O negative just goes with everything. But get the B minus blood. It says on his wrist he's B minus. Now imagine there was a jewelry ban back then, and you're not allowed to wear that type of key identifier on your person. It would be a madness. It would be a madness. Now, of course, it's not the same thing nowadays. It's not the same thing at all. They've got all the drivers' blood types and all their relevant medical information. They've got it all on dossier somewhere in the back. They've got all of that. So, we can't really say that, what about these blood bracelets from back in the day? But it was interesting to note that, they did have something like that back in the day, and the drivers would have been encouraged to wear it. So they actually encouraged to wear jewelry. I've seen Senna with the watch on, by the way, in the car. I've seen that. So he would also be illegal nowadays. They're doing a whole lot of mess, this FIA. But I just want to see if they actually commit fully to actually disqualifying a Sir Lewis Hamilton if he rocks up to Montreal and he's still blinged out. I would like to see if they actually do DQ. Well, I say if he rocks up to, he can rock up blinged up, of course, but if he gets into the car and he's still got bling to the nines with some piercings going on, then I'll be very interested to see if they do actually DQ him from a Grand Prix weekend. That's the only time that anyone will be able to say, oh, okay, they're serious now. That's the only time. Until they actually do that, I mean, this is all just power games. And it's funny because whether I've said this early in the video or not, I forget now, I'm just on a ramble. But we're going to be evaluating Sir Lewis Hamilton like none of this bullshit is happening around him. Seriously, we're going to be evaluating him, me as well, on this channel, on the whole F1 Webersphere. We are going to be evaluating him like there's none of this baggage, there's none of this bullshit baggage happening around him. And I just want everyone to remember what exactly their evaluation is. Right? When time comes later, when Sir Lewis has licked his wounds from the FIA, like literally targeting him. I mean, we can't even debate that now. They are just targeting him at this point. So once he's licked his wounds from all of that, and Abu Dhabi, of course, Jesus. I hope everyone remembers what their assessment of Sir Lewis Hamilton was at this point in time. Especially if maybe, you know, with the way this Miami weekend is shaping up, George might get a really good result, maybe a victory, or let's not say that too loud, but, you know, let's all just remember the evaluations. But, you know, let's all just remember the evaluations that everyone's going to come up with after the results of this weekend and coming weekends. Let's just remember that. And let's just remember that this jewelry band nonsense is in the air. Alright? Anyway, peace.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there, homie. Hey, let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. Go! See, you really wanna pop me. Go! Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. No! You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a bing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win, and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death, and now I move a little foul. Nigga better call a rap, and everybody know my style. Niggas know that I'm the best when it comes to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, and I bang in the east, and I banging in the west, and I come to give you more, and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street, and you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and you know we gotta go now, try to keep up with the pace. If we struggling and hustling and set it, and I get it, and we always gotta do it, take it to another place. Gotta taste it, and I gotta grab it, and I gotta cut all through this traffic just to be at the top of the throne. But I know I gotta have it.